Super Dave here with episode 15 of figures, play sets, and accessories that go well with MOTU Classics. And we're going to look at not one, not two, but three action figures today that I believe go well with MOTU Classics or possibly even Revelation figures. And that is Ares by Storm Collectible in the awesome Injustice Gods Among Us line. And there's some pictures on the back of that box. And we're looking at Tekken 7 Jin. And this is the exclusive version with the silver and black and white trim and the silver gauntlets and fists that come with this awesome figure. We're going to be looking at that. Look at some of the pictures on the back of that box. And then finally, we're going to be looking at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphing Tenga Warrior. This bird-like creature looks amazing. And there is a picture of the back of that box. We're going to break these three action figures out of the box and take a look at them next to some Classics and Revelation action figures. Let's go over to our awesome Snake Mountain set where there's a lot of villains awaiting us.
In the dark recesses of eternity, where some of the greatest and most villainous villains of all times gather together. They're corrupt, they're evil, they're maleficent. They only have one goal: wreak havoc in eternity. And here they stand together united, rallying with one evil rallying cry. They are the deepest, demonic, darkest forces of the land. And joining them are three more that will add to their evil demises as they plot. And here they are. Jin, Ares, and the Tenga Warrior. Let's look at these villainous additions now.
And here we are as we look at Jin from Tekken 7. Who also joining the evil forces of Eternia and Skeletor and his minions. And let's look now at Jin's accessories. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is Jin's head sculpts that he comes with. He comes with three different head sculpts, and this first one is a very stoic, very serious. You look at those realistic eyes there. He means business. The second one that he comes with is like a gritting teeth head, and that one also means business. Love those eyes, the way they catch light, the pupils. And then you have a yelling head sculpt where he looks like he's like really screaming and upset for sure. He's got the same basic hairstyle on all three of these head sculpts, but they're really cool. And our Jin comes with a set of tight-fisted hands equipped there, as well as some open palm relaxed type hands, as well as some karate type 2 fingers up hands, and then some more grabbing type hands. And then our Jin comes with this punching type effect here, where this swirly, almost blazing looking powerful punch effect, which will just clip right onto his arm and open it up, clip it right on his arm, and there he is punching forward. Ha! Really nice effect. Cool. Really cool. And that's all of Jin's accessories. Now let's look at his articulation. And taking a look at our Jin's articulation in his head, first of all here, we're going to look at how he can look up a pretty good amount there. He's going to be able to get a good amount of looking down there. And again, this is Storm Collectibles' usual soft skin type material up here on the upper chest. So he's going to be able to look side to side. He's going to be able to get excellent head tilting motion there. And so you're going to be able to get it going all the way around because there's like a dumbbell ball joint up in the head and in the chest. So he's going to be able to get excellent range all the way around with that neck able to move and the head able to move. Moving on to the arms, he has a butterfly joint which allows him to move in and out, get some good cross body there, and you can see that functioning back here in the back as well. It bumps up against that soft torso rubber-y soft plastic up here, and he's going to be able to do a full 360 with that shoulder joint. He's going to be able to get better than 90 degrees, as you can tell there. He also has true bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, but you're not going to get quite more than 90 degrees because of this gauntlet. Now, just to note, that gauntlet is removable, as you see, but still you're not going to really get better than 90 degrees even after removing that gauntlet on his forearm here. And that's of course so you can switch his hands out there. And those of course on a ball joint, you're going to hinge forward and swivel. You're going to be able to go in any direction that you want there. Moving on to his torso, he has that excellent ball, dumbbell ball joint, and you have to watch this soft plastic pinching. He's able to kind of crunch forward that far. He's able to bend backwards a good amount there, as you can tell. And again, just, with, you can see it up in there. When you do Storm Collectibles articulation, it's excellent, but you do have to watch for some gappage. And then also when you move it back into place, some pinching, where this plastic sometimes can get caught in there and pinch, but it looks great when you get it positioned. And just check out those abs on this guy. I mean, they look realistic and really good, looking fabulous. I love that. And that soft goods. Then he's able to swivel at the waist, but he's able to also bend forward because there's another ball joint there. So by the time you add all of that, he's able to go forward that much, and he's able to bend back that much. So you have perfect articulation going on in the upper torso, the upper body. Can't really ask for better than that. This in the middle is soft plastic rubber as well, and he's going to be able to do full splits with those leg joints. I love Storm Collectible leg joints as well. He's also going to be able to kick forward almost 90 degrees. He gets double jointed knees, which because of the girth of those pants, they're not going to go all the way back, but they get the job done pretty much as far as that part. He's going to be able to go back pretty much as far as he can go forward, which is excellent. So he's going to be able to get, full seats. And just to show you, look at the excellent detail on this exclusive version with the gold around the edge, the silver, the gray, going down into the whites, into the silver. And that leads us to the feet. You can see and get just about full tiptoes there. And then it can go up somewhat before it hits that pants leg. And then he also has some toe articulation because that rubber piece, the silver rubber piece, does move out of the way. And he does get excellent rockers. Even with that hard plastic pants leg, he still gets excellent rocker joints there. It doesn't really hinder the rocker joints there. So that's just excellent. Excellent articulation for our Tekken 7 Storm Collectibles Jin. Now let's look at our next action figure. And now to look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Tenga Warrior. And let's check out his accessories. Our Tenga Warrior, it looks like some kind of a bird, comes with these claw type hands, and those are really cool. He also comes with a pair of clenched, fisted, clawed hands. You see the fingernails are still in there, but they are clawed and they are tightly clenched, fisted. He also comes with this egg type design, and it's got some cracks in it, and there is a hole on the edge of it here. I had some putty that I used to stand it up, but that must be so that he can hold it. We'll try that out when we do our photos. Now, as you see, he comes with these feathers attached to his arms. You have to install those. There's a larger set, 1 and 2, that plug in, and they're labeled left and right. As well as over here, you see those. They're labeled left and right, so you can see this, the larger pair here. And he comes with a smaller pair, so if you don't want the larger pair, you can use this smaller pair for his arms. And then he comes with this lightning effect here that you can put in either his fisted hand or that open clawed hand, or you can wrap it around the egg, whichever you're wanting to use it for here. Really cool effect. Let's look at our Tenga Warrior's articulation. That's cool. You can almost make that egg look like it's levitating behind that lightning as he holds it in his hand. You wrap it around just right. So there's just a lot of possibilities with this guy. He's looking cool. Starting off with his head articulation here. You can look up about that much. You cannot really look down that much because this stuff right here gets in the way. His feathers around his neck get in the way. But he does look side to side, and he does get some head pivot motion there. And you can open and close his mouth. Isn't that awesome? I love that feature. Just need to find him a worm and put it in there. So that's really cool. And I've turned the lights up a little bit so it's a little bright, but so you could see him since he is dark against a dark background here. But pretty good head articulation. Not sure if you can pop this head off. Yes, you can. And that can be moved out of the way. And then if you were to do that, then you're going to be able to look down a lot more. So if you did want to get a downward gaze, you could manipulate that way without that this piece there. But going on to the arms, and just note that you will knock these things out. They kind of come out kind of easy, but he does have bicep swivels, true bicep swivel. He's going to be able to get a full range of motion with that shoulder, but is going to hit against this soft part here. So it will get out of the way, and so you're going to be able to go a full 360, but as you saw there, that feather part is going to pop off every time you try to, and then there goes another one. They are going to fall off as you try to manipulate him and mess around with his articulation. He does have a nice butterfly joint underneath that that's going to allow you to get some better range. He only has a single jointed elbow, but as you see, because you tab that feather into the upper forearm and then this second one into like the tricep area, it almost folds away from each other, so you get perfect range without anything hindering, even though these will pop off if you're not careful. But so he has the ability to go 360 with that shoulder, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and he does have hinge and swivel at the wrist, even though because of that hard plastic around his wrist, it's not going to really hinge too far, but you are going to be able to get some motion there. All right, moving these arms and these feathers out of the way, trying not to knock them off. Let's look at this nice torso here. He's got the ability to do full range of motion. He's able to bend forward that much. He's able to bend back a good amount there. Isn't that nice? Look at there. And he also has a hinge at his waist, which Hasbro has been doing with these Lightning and Power Ranger line, and it's really nice because it gives you an excellent range there, crunching forward, and the ability to bend way back there and get some great poses from this fella. He does have the ability to do full splits there. He has thigh rotation there. And this guy has double jointed knees. So he's able to go all the way back and kick his own behind back there. This middle section or this crotch area is a soft rubber, so that doesn't get in the way. So you're going to be able to kick forward, kick back, and get that double knee joint into motion there, as we said. And you see all this nice armor and like a shin guard and a knee guard, so that's really nice. His foot's able to go up that much, almost full tiptoes there. He has excellent rocker joints. They really don't get in the way. They go up underneath that material that's coming down around his shin and ankle here. And so excellent articulation on this guy. And I'm just really impressed too, again, that his mouth opens. I love that. I like that. Nice touch, Hasbro, really good. And just check out those eyes there as well. Really cool. All right, so we'll do some photos of this guy and of Jen at the end of the video. Now let's go to our next action figure, Ares. And now let's look at the mighty Gods Among Us Storm Collectibles Ares. Look at his accessories first of all. The first accessory that our Ares comes with is this stoic looking black head sculpt. Really neat looking pupils looking in there, just like normal Storm Collectibles, very realistic for what it is. And he comes with two more head sculpts. First of all, a yelling head sculpt here where his mouth is open and he is looking vicious there, that wrinkled forehead, and then a teeth grinding, clenched teeth looking serious, mad, nostrils sprout out head sculpt, looking great, looking phenomenal there. Wow, excellent. Now the four sets of hands that Ares has, he comes first of all equipped with these tight fisted hands there that are on him there, and then his second pair of hands are these open palm hands, and then his third pair are these clawed, grappling looking hands there, clenched with those clawed looking fingers at the end. And finally, these weapon wielding hands that allowed him to hold his weapons. So those are his four sets of hands. Now let's look at his weapons. First of all, he comes with awesome looking sword. And just look at the hilt. It almost looks like it has a ugly face up in there, somehow sketched into that hilt in and of itself, with eyes and evil right there all the way up to the butt of the handle there. And so look at the gunmetal, almost metal looking detail that's around that handle all the way up into the butt of that handle there where he's holding on to. So just really cool. And then that really awesome looking blade with the burgundy going all the way through the middle of it, with those edges of the blade, with the shimmeringness of that metallic paint, just looking great on that huge sword. And you look at it, it's almost as tall as he is, so it's really cool. Check it out. We'll look at that with some pictures in just a few moments as well. But next weapon he comes with is this awesome double bladed axe with the gold accents, some bronze, almost like with a wooden black handle, and some gunmetal there going throughout, going all the way to like a little hooked fork at the end with a design. So just really cool double bladed axe that he comes with there. Just some awesome looking weapons. He definitely comes with some great accessories. And of course, last but not least, that really awesome looking helmet, which, as you saw earlier as we were looking at the head sculpts, it is removable. And this helmet has that weird looking beast on the front with horns, and it's got like some ram horns wrapped up in there, as well as some almost like cow horns, and then like this Roman mohawk looking thing going on. So it's just a mixture there of various shapes. Look at the detail there on the top of that mohawk, the palm there, but just looking cool. Almost has that Mandalorian looking mask area, but just really cool looking helmet there that'll go on either of those 3 head sculpts. So that's really cool. And we'll look at those head sculpts with the different faces and how they come through the mask when we do photos. But there we have it. Now for Ares articulation. Taking a look at Ares articulation, we're going to remove the helmet for the purposes of looking at this guy first of all. And starting with his head, you're able to look up about that much. You're going to be able to look down about that much, just like with most Storm Collectibles. He's got that double-ended dumbbell joint up in the head and down in the chest, which is going to allow him to look side to side, get excellent head pivoting abilities, and just be able to go all the way around, because that neck is soft material. It's be able to do anything that you need it to do. It's just going to be great. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Go all the way around. Very nice. And none of this gets in the way. The helmet, of course, when you have that on, as far as keeping those eyes center so that they're looking out of the visor, you are going to have a little bit of challenge trying to kind of move and keep that in place without the helmet getting kind of in the way a little bit, but you just kind of have to position it and work with it as best you can. Just love these like teeth that come around the edge, or these metal spikes or whatever you want to call them that are coming around toward his head area, but yet they're soft and they're not going to damage anything or do anything. It's really cool. And then he's got this really nice cloth cape on the back, which does have a wire running all the way into the seam around and all the way back up, so you're going to be able to bend that and get that going in any direction that you would like. Give it that kind of wind-blown look or swooshing look, like it's coming out to the side or whatever that you would like to do. And as you see, it's not really a hood, but it just kind of drapes back here. And as you saw earlier, you can kind of use that as to your advantage and have a place to kind of store his sword back there, which is kind of cool. Or you could always do the same thing with his axe. Moving on to his arms, this part right here is attached to his armor, but you are going to be able to still get better than 90 degrees lifting that right there. You're not really going to be able to go all the way around 360 without kind of bending that back, but it would go. You're just going to have to bend it out a little bit. But then you're going to have true bicep swivel. You do have a butterfly joint up underneath that armor, and you're going to get double jointed elbows, which get well better than 90 degrees. That's excellent. Of course, ball and hinge at the wrist, which is good. And so, you know, a lot of good articulation here. Let's see, I'm not sure if these gauntlets are removable. No, they are sculpted into the plastic. Those spikes and everything, they're all kind of sculpted in there, so you're not going to be able to remove that one on this particular figure, but you can, of course, swap out those hands and stuff. All right, moving these arms out of the way and looking at the torso, there's this soft, rubbery plastic armor that goes all the way around into the back. Look at that excellent detail, and into the skirt area back here, just really nice, almost a cloth looking hook back here that goes across his back, lower back, and then that metal looking gunmetal and silver trimmed armor. But it's soft enough that you are going to be able to feel that ball joint rather at the torso area, so he is able to crunch forward about that much. He's going to be able to bend back about that much, so you're still going to get that movement under there. You're just going to have to kind of move it along with the underneath feel of this top armor up here. And he's got that ball joint at the waist, so you're also going to be able to bend forward with his waist, and going to be able to get some side motion as well, and bend back, those kinds of things. Then he's got this skirt area and this loincloth area that's all soft rubber, but it will get out of the way for you to be able to get full just about, not quite, but full splits, good enough splits, I should say. And you're going to have a little bit of a thigh rotation there, and you're going to be able to kick up about that much, about 90 degrees. You do get double jointed knees, which do go way back for him, so he's going to be able to get great knee articulation there. It goes way back. He's got this knee guard up here, design. It looks kind of like a gunmetal again up on the front. He is going to be able to get full seated position, and he doesn't have a swivel at the knee. Again, we did say that at the he doesn't have a boot cut either, I don't believe. Well, that shin guard does move, but that's not a true boot cut. But this shin guard will swivel, and you can move this foot a little bit here, but he's going to be able to not get quite full tiptoes, but it will bend down quite a bit, and then he's going to be able to go up slightly. And he does have excellent rocker joints, and he does have that toe hinge. So Storm Collectibles always does a good job, even with all this armor, to still give us a pretty decent amount of articulation with this guy, even as bulky and as much armor as he comes equipped with. So that's very good. And now we're going to be looking at some comparisons. And here is our Masters of the Universe Revelation Skeletor, except he's got an Alcala head there next to Ares, and you see that sword coming against He-Man here. And even though Ares is taller than Skeletor, I think they fit in together well, because, I mean, look, this Ares is supposed to be tall. So looking good there, I believe. And then you see Jen next to our Masters of the Universe Revelation Evil Lyn, and she's looking really good. She's a little shorter, but I mean, these villains are different sizes, and she is shorter, even shorter than Skeletor and He-Man in this line. But he's looking great there. You can see how they measure up with some other classic figures there, and so cool. And check out how good this Tenga Warrior looks beside this Clawful, this MOTU Classics Clawful. I mean, he looks like he could have just about, I mean, he could have been a MOTU Classics figure, but his articulation is better. But he fits in perfect with the classic figures, and I believe with the Revelation figures as well. He's just really cool. I think he'll make a good bad guy for Skeletor, like Birdman, all right? And you can see there how that He-Man measures it up even better with Ares, even though Ares is still a little taller. That's looking good there. I think they match up great together. And then there is Jen with our Fisto, Masters of the Universe Classic. Jen is just a little bit taller, but they both have those metal fists getting ready to clash there. And that's really cool looking. I think he still matches up good there. And then you see our Masters of the Universe Revelation Skeletor here beside the Tenga Warrior bird here with his egg. Even though I do have that Alcala head on this Revelation Skeletor, I think they still look good matched up next to each other here. As Skeletor is checking out the egg there, the power of the egg. And here's Ares versus our William Stout, Dolph Lundgren, He-Man, and they measure up really good together. They're almost better suited in height and in look, I think. This classics version of the William Stout He-Man looks really good with this Ares about to fight him with that big giant sword. That's looking cool. And then look, Jen is no match for the mighty battle armor He-Man with his fighting effect there, punching He-Man's armor, and it may have scarred it, but He-Man is still standing strong. It didn't budge him. But they're looking good together, measured up there. I think that's looking neat. Cool. And even though our Ares still towers over even slightly our Skelly God here, I think that the Ares by Storm Collectible does go well with Masters of the Universe Revelation figures. Being they're in that taller scale, this Ares really does match up with them well, I think. I mean, he's supposed to be big, just like Skelly God is larger than the other characters. this Ares is supposed to be big, large, in charge, and is literally looking good here. You can see how that face sculpt looks. Yeah, gritting teeth look through the mask. It's looking good there. You can store that sword back there, even behind the cape if you'd like. Got the cape spread out. There's Skelly God. Just about right. I mean, if it weren't for the helmet, they would be about the same size, just about. He's just a little taller than Skelly God, but looking great, looking dynamic here. And here's Tenga Warrior, the Bird Man, next to Huntra and Mosquitor. And he's thinking about, wonder if I could suck out of that egg there. And there's Ares next to Battle Armor Skeletor. Of course, he's a lot shorter, but still works, you know, in scale, I think. There's Merman and Jin. And there is our King Altron, or of course Jiren from Dragon Ball Z, but I call him King Altron for purposes of MOTU Classics. And you see how they're doing a flex off there. Looking good. Ares and our Revelation Skeletor, Jin and our MOTU Classics He-Man, and Tenga with our Super 7 Arnold, Conan, and our Battleground Tila from Classics. Again, looking great. It works. We can do it. These villains can go against the good guys and can team up with the bad guys. Even though they are a little taller, I believe it works. But he's looking amazing. Just love this Ares. I really like this Jin and his colors with the silver metal looking gauntlets and fists. I like this Birdman. He's just interesting with his feathers and his great articulation and his open beak abilities and his egg. Just a lot of fascinating possibilities in our MOTU Classics and Revelations stories and imagination, along with all the other villains back here. Looking great. I wish I could have done comparisons with all of the figures, but that will do it for now. Now let's look at some photos. Thank you guys, and have a blessed evening. Like, subscribe please, and share with others about this channel. And please comment if you've got something you'd like to see done or a picture you'd like to see. We can do it on our Instagram page at SuperDave_reviews and _photos.